Harry's fine, you all. He's perfectly fine. Prince Harry just gave The Guardian an interview where he dropped the line, "My conscience is clear." And let me tell you, if this is what a clear conscience looks like, whining, contradictions, zero accountability, and a lot of victimhood, then I need to get myself one of those consciousness because apparently it comes with free passes for bad decisions. Let's get started. Hi everyone, I'm Star Chairs, and in this channel we analyze videos and articles through the lens of PR. Today's show is sponsored by Eva. Thank you very much for sponsoring this show. You can too if you go to buymecoffee.com and you can get your name right up here with Eva. All right, guys. So Harry did an interview with The Guardian. We're not going to read the entire article. I'm just going to do the snippets bit by bit because most of it is like, not interested. So we're just going to focus on the most interesting parts. Let's break this down, shall we?
I have certainly had to deal with some very stressful events over the last 4 years. There has been the uncertainty and the stress of litigation and finding out certain things that have really, really hurt.
Because Harry talks about stressful events over the last 4 years. The lawsuits, those weren't assigned to him as homework whatsoever. He filed them repeatedly. He decided he was going to take on the entire British press and spend years in court dragging his stress with him like a personal accessory. Again, all by his own doing. The book, Spare, did we forget that? Because nobody held a quill, a pen to his head and said, "Harry, well, maybe Meghan, allegedly." "Harry, write about your frostbitten toader." That was his decision again. He wanted the world to know his business. Or maybe his wife told him, "We need money, so you need to write a book." The Oprah interview, yeah, that wasn't a random ambush where Oprah rang his doorbell. And didn't they ambush Oprah? But Oprah did not ambush them with a camera crew whatsoever. They flew in themselves. They staged it. It was a wanted spotlight. So when he sits there claiming stressful events, no, Harry, that's not life doing you dirty whatsoever. No. That's you lighting the match. Then sitting in the middle of the bonfire wondering, why in the heck am I sweating? I'll tell you why, because you lit the fire. And here's the interesting part. He wanted this. Remember? His whole plan after leaving the UK, freedom, independence, freedom flight, telling the truth. Well, congratulations. You got it now. Now, the stress that comes with your choices, that's called accountability. Welcome to adulthood. We all have them. I have them. People watching this episode have it because of you.
And over the next 36 hours, we learned a lot, big and small, about this complex, conflicted man. Yeah, conflicted. That is a good word to explain, to describe him. He doesn't like posing for stage photos, and he doesn't like cycling. He likes to box to relieve his frustration. Hitting the hell out of a bag, he says, helps him to decompress.
And then we get to this part where Harry says he doesn't like stage photos. Oh, really? Wasn't your entire Netflix series one stage scrapbook? Chicken coops, drone shots, private jet rides? If not staged, then my cat Instagram feed is a documentary of filmmaking. No, really, I should have a cat Instagram feed because, oh my goodness. And the funniest part is that he says he's not unhappy, but the talks about boxing away his frustration, which one is it? Because I don't know about you, but the only time that I want to box is when I have frustration, is when the world feels like it's kicking me. I don't know most happy people that need to punch a bag to decompress every day. Do you? He insists that he's very happy with who he is. Sure, Harry, you told us how happy you are about 5 times now. Nothing screams, "I'm totally fine. I'm fine. Like repeatedly trying to convince the world that you are fine.
I think parts of the British press want to believe that I am miserable, but I am not. I am very happy with who I am, and I like the life that I live. I don't know about you guys, but I am not buying this.
According to Harry, the press is out to make him look miserable. It's not himself, of course, it's the press. Reality check. The press didn't even invent your misery. You just hit the play button. You were miserable when you threw your family under the bus. You were miserable when you stomped your feet about losing taxpayer-funded security. And you were miserable when you sat in your Montecito mansion complaining about the very system that gave you your life. And here's the irony of it all. Harry claims to hate the press. We've heard it many, many times. He sues them, he lectures them, he calls them toxic. Yet, who does he keep running to every single time he wants to correct the narrative? The press, Oprah, Netflix, People magazine. He won't shut up. They won't shut up. They can't stop talking. And I'll add Meghan in there. Yeah, they cannot stop talking. It's like watching someone complain about junk food while eating junk food every single day. Harry keeps burning bridges, and bridges can only be burned once. You cannot sue the press, trash the press, call them liars, and then expect them to keep giving you platforms. Sooner or later, Harry will find himself with no press left to talk to other than People magazine. And when that day comes, the silence he claims he wants is finally going to arrive. And I promise you, he's probably not going to like it, in my opinion. Then he says that he feels a lot of support from the British public. Okay, where is it? Because the British public didn't line up for your last event. They didn't buy Meghan's jam. They sure as heck didn't rush to stock their wine cellars with your wife's rosé. But yeah, Harry, you guys are thriving in the UK.
Harry mentions his wife Meghan only once by name, a reference to something she told him about how telling the truth is the most efficient way to live. She said, "Just stick to the truth. It's the thing I always fall back on. Always. And if you think like that, who would be stupid enough to lie? It takes up too much time and effort." Which brings him to the very public things he has said about his life, the interviews, the TV series, and the book he wrote, Spare. I know that speaking out annoys some people and it goes against the narrative, the book. It was a series of corrections to stories already out there. One point of view had been put out and it needed to be corrected. He adds, "I don't believe that I aired my dirty laundry in public. It was a difficult message, but I did it in the best way possible. My conscience is clear."
This is my favorite part. Harry brings up Meghan exactly once, quoting her line. Meghan's line is, "The truth is the most efficient way to live." Except the couple has been caught in half-truths, omissions, and contradictions for years. The Sussex brand of truth has been anything but efficient. It's messy, contradictory, and constantly clarified after the fact. Meghan once said they were married 3 days before the actual wedding. Truth? Nope. Efficiency? Definitely not. Then Harry says, "Who would be stupid enough to lie?" Who would be stupid enough to think that the public hasn't noticed or the world doesn't fact check you anymore? Oh my goodness. Harry swears he didn't air his dirty laundry in public. Come on, Harry. Excuse me? Spare was basically one giant laundry basket. We got the socks, the underpants, and the frostbite you-know-what. The fight with William, the drug use, the paranoia, and if that's not dirty laundry, then what is it? Because you aired so much laundry that not even Tide could keep up with it. Ooh, if I was sponsored by Tide, this would be a perfect segue into it. But I'm not, so not sponsored. And then he says his book was just a series of corrections. That's not a correction, Harry. That's an autobiography. A correction is what you say. Sorry, I misspoke. That's what you say. When was the last time we ever heard you say that? What you did was a 400-page tell-all, painting your entire family as villains. It wasn't a correction, and you know it. This reminds me of the time that he's like, "Oh, when did Meghan say that it was racist?" Meghan didn't say it. It was the British press. We know how that went. Oh my God, they make me so upset. They make me so upset.
Being called stubborn slightly rankles with him. It is not stubbornness, it is having principles. And I'm going to go to the very bottom here. But in life, he says, you cannot have reconciliation before you have truth.
Let's continue. Another thing he said, and I don't know if I call him an idiot for mentioning it or just tell him to stop talking. Please, Harry, just stop talking. Because apparently, Harry doesn't like being called stubborn. He insists it's principles. And let's be real. Let's talk about principles. Principles are when you fight for something bigger than yourself. Stubbornness is when you refuse to admit that you are wrong, even after the receipts are stacked against you. So which one sounds more like Harry? Yeah. And here's where it gets tragic. His so-called principles have cost him every major bridge he had. He burned the bridge with the palace, he torched the one with his brother, and now brick by brick, he's doing the same thing with the media. Think about it. He sues them, trashes them, lectures them, and then somehow expects them to still hand him over a microphone whenever he wants to set the record straight. I think they just do it now because he opens his mouth and then just stupid stuff comes out like this. Let's not forget Meghan and Harry need the press if they want to sell another book or more wine or another show. They need them. So that's not principles, Harry. No, absolutely not. That's self-sabotage. Because here's your reality. Sooner or later, those microphones are going to stop showing up. Those newspapers invites will stop coming. Those glossy spreads and long Guardian profiles will vanish. In my opinion, you can only bite the hand that feeds you so many times before it smacks you away for good. And when that day comes, when Harry finds himself with no press left to talk to, no cameras left to cry to, no headlines left to chase, the silence he claims he wants will finally arrive. But instead of freedom, it's going to feel like isolation because the truth is, Harry's entire identity now revolves around explaining himself to every single press he swears that he despises. And this right here is a reconciliation illusion. Harry ends with the perfect gem. You cannot make this up. He says you cannot have reconciliation before you have truth. Sounds noble, right? Except let's decode this because what it really means, my family must accept my version of the truth before I forgive them. Dude, that's not reconciliation. You are hostage taking this whole thing. It's saying, I will only make peace if everyone bends the knee to my script. No. And here's where Meghan's influences show up crystal clear. And I'm so glad he mentioned Meghan about the truth. Because in this article, Harry parrots Meghan's line that the truth is the most efficient way to live. Cool. But let's be honest, Meghan's definition of the truth has always been flexible. Sometimes it's 3 days before the wedding we got married. Sometimes it's carefully edited Netflix scene. I didn't Google my husband when we all know she did. That distortion of the truth has rubbed off on Harry. What he calls truth now isn't about facts. It's about perspective, and specifically his perspective, shaped through Meghan's distorted lens of the truth. His truth is no longer objective, it's performative. It's the version that makes him look principled, nobled, and misunderstood, even when the rest of the world sees contradictions stacked a mile high. Same with Meghan. And here's the danger in all of this, because once your definition of the truth bends and becomes flexible, it becomes elastic, reconciliation becomes impossible because you're not asking for forgiveness or mutual understanding. You are demanding everyone adopt your narrative as the only narrative. Harry thinks he's holding out for honesty. When in reality, he's holding his family hostage to a distorted definition of the truth that was never universal to begin with. At the end of the day, this is Harry's cycle. Claim victimhood, contradict yourself again, say you're happy, and repeat the cycle. That's my opinion, of course, because he calls himself very, very happy with the life that he's living. then why spend an entire Guardian profile explaining yourself? Truly, happy people are too busy living their lives to do a PR spin. Do you have time? No. We're happy. We're scrolling. We're on YouTube. We're making. We're building. We're outside gardening. We're doing things if we're happy. So here's what I think the reality of Harry is, in my opinion. His stress is self-inflicted. His misery is self-broadcasted. His contradictions are self-written. And his lack of accountability, that right there is the thing that he's actually very consistent about. Meghan and Harry wanted this, the freedom, the Hollywood contracts, the cameras, the stage. Well, Harry, congratulations, you guys got it. But the bill comes due, and in the PR world, you don't get to cry foul when the very machine you've been feeding turns around and eats you alive. So what do you think, guys? Is Harry just delusional or just stubborn to the point of self-destruction? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below because I want to hear from you. And don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.